Habt ihr eure Punkte wieder? Weil hat ja nicht geklappt bei mir. Und jetzt sehe ich den Chat nicht mehr. Weil ist unspielbar, beziehungsweise ich war doof und hab's aus Versehen trotzdem mal gemacht. So, so nett bin ich. Oh, guck mal, da ist sogar ein Elektrogurumi noch. War ich mit der Insel noch gar nicht ganz fertig, ja? Wo ist es hin? Das habe ich jetzt gar nicht mitgekriegt. Wo ist es hin? Ach, hier. Ja, da wird ein Rätsel sein. Ah, da ist ein Rätsel. Ah, da ist so eine Steinplatte. Wieder so eine Steintafel. Ja, aber was mache ich mit denen? Also einmal bringt er mich wirklich, die Elektro-Dinger wirklich zu den Steintafeln hin. Aber ein Rätsel ist hier. Achso, ich habe das als Rätsel gesehen. Im Augenwinkel schnell. Da war es gar keins. Ich will rausgeschossen werden. Yay. Da war gar kein Rätsel. Wo ist das jetzt? Ah, hier oben. Eine Geschwindigkeitsherausforderung. Ah, hier ist ein Rätsel. Schau mal. Na, ihr? Da ist ein Rätsel. Guck mal. Okay. Warte mal. Du musst eingefroren und in die Richtung rüber zeigen. Drehen. Nochmal drehen. Nochmal drehen. So. Dann bist du schon richtig. Du bist eingefroren, dich müssen wir aber auch drehen. Kriege ich meine Plattform wieder? Ich will hier wieder weg. Hey. Da muss ich aber drüben auf der anderen Insel trotzdem nochmal wohin. Denke ich. Waren da dann Steinplatten? Ich hoffe, ich habe es jetzt richtig. Bam. Waren da Steintafeln auf der einen Insel? Da habe ich doch dann irgendwo... Habe ich die übersehen?
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes, this seems suitably sophisticated.
Da waren irgendwo Steintafeln. Auf der Insel da drüben. Hier. Hier war mal drin, da waren keine. Hier war mal auch unten drin. Weil das sind wir raus. Für die eine Kiste. Oder es waren dort keine. Und natürlich musste ich alle... Ach komm. Jetzt wird's knapp. Ah, guck mal, das sind sogar Reservedinger gewesen. Okay. Aber ich überlege gerade, wo könnten es denn hier noch Steintafeln gewesen sein? Weil hier unten waren wir, hier unten waren wir drin. Ansonsten gibt es ja gar nicht mehr viel unten. Ich gehe nochmal rüber. Es gibt noch eine Stelle, stell dein Auto auf die Einfahrt. Ja, ist doch gut, Mutter. Beruhig dich. Weil hier gibt es ja sonst nichts mehr. Weil hier waren wir unten drin, da waren wir unten drin. Jetzt waren wir halt da, nur da nicht drin. Aber da ist auch nichts. Ich habe eine Idee, wo wir hin könnten. Wo Steintafeln sein könnten. Und zwar hier drüben. Hier drüben, da. Hier drin. Also, ich weiß es nicht, ob es auf jeder Insel Steintafeln geben muss. Aber rein theoretisch haben wir hier was. Also einmal hier die ganzen einzelnen Räumchen. Das weiß ich natürlich jetzt nicht. Aber hier ist auch nichts. Nee. Wo schießt uns das Ding hin? Das schießt uns darüber. Und da waren wir. Okay, dann gibt es hier keine Steintafeln. Dann gehen wir wieder hier hin, machen da weiter. Holen uns dann noch gleich den Korrosionsschutz, den letzten, der uns fehlt. Dann ist die Stufe nämlich auch fertig, weil da fehlt uns auch nicht mehr so viel, oder? Haben wir auch gleich. Aber guck mal, so schnell haben wir das Rätselchen oder das Event durch. Also ging halt wirklich schnell. Gut, ich kenne mich in Ökonomie in dem Eck hier aus. Weil ich habe es ja auch schon fertig. Müsste auch schon 100% sein, rein theoretisch. Gucken wir mal auf die normale. Ökonomie 100%. Also ich habe es fertig. Ich kenne das Eck ja. Ist jetzt für mich nichts Neues. Das hier. Das ist es ja das ist ja so mein Hauptproblem. In Genshin. Ich bin fertig. Ich habe kaum noch was zu machen. Das ist ja die ganze Problematik, die ich so ein bisschen habe. So, jetzt weiß ich natürlich nicht mehr, wo das Elektrogummi hin ist. Da. Jetzt drücken wir U. Korrosionsgrad 4. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was das heißt. Wie schnell ich Energie verliere auf der Schatulle, denke ich. So, du gehst anscheinend zum Teleportationspunkt nur. Ja. Den vertreiben wir, den Nebel.
Today is a lucky day.
Hier ist gleich die nächste Kiste. Die hole ich mir. Die ist aber nur zum Schießen. Guck mal, habe ich gar nicht gesehen. So. Ich glaube wir brauchen so gut wie gar nichts mehr, oder? Hallihallo. Ich werde hier so ein bisschen rumgeschossen. Und der bleibt jetzt eingefroren. War da noch einer? Nö. So. Sammeln wir mal alles ein. Viele Kisten sind ja auch nicht mehr. Ich würde sagen, wir sind echt fast durch. Ich sehe hier auch gerade keine Rätsel mehr, großartig. Ich sehe halt immer noch ein paar Blümchen, aber... Gut, hier ist noch eine Herausforderung. Gucken mal kurz auf die Karte. Kann ich noch nicht hochpushen, also bam, Herausforderung. Hä? Ja, jetzt ist vorbei. Jetzt ist vorbei. Abbrechen. Wieso kriege ich das? Oh nein! Kiste. Ah, guck mal, hier sind noch ein paar Rätsel.
I shall treasure this good fortune.
Da sind noch ein paar Blümchen und so. So, gucken wir mal kurz das Rätselchen hier an. Hier schießen wir hier rüber. Dich kann ich drehen. Ach, guck mal, jetzt sind wir in dem Eck hier. Dann würde ich dich aber auftauen. Oder ich drehe dich so. Dann drehe ich dich so. Du dann hier hin. Dich drehe ich 1. Bam, 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 bam. Guck mal, das eine hier haben wir gar nicht gebraucht. So, dann haben wir das. Hier können wir uns darüber schießen. Da ist dann auch... Nee, noch nicht der letzte. Da müssen wir nochmal hin. Machen wir das hier fertig, weil der Korrosionsschutz hier stört uns ehrlich überhaupt gar nicht. Nein. Hab ich verdrückt. So, bam. So, der sollte jetzt eh sterben. Haben wir noch dich. Ihr habt aber auch nichts freigemacht gerade. Hier ist noch Erz. Wo ist denn hier eine Kiste? Ah, guck mal. Da können wir wieder mehr zusammensammeln. Da müssen wir nur die Seelis finden. Na, ihr?
You shall perish. Illusion shut. Kamisato art. Sometsu. Covenant of the deep. Rest and rebuild.
Der muss natürlich runterfallen. Wo ist er? Ich hänge hier, ich kann hier nicht wegdodgen oder sonst irgendwas. Danke, dass du zu mir gekommen bist, finde ich schön. Dann haben wir die Kiste da oben auch. Dann holen wir uns die doch mal. Wo die Seelis sind. Vielleicht sind sogar hier mal die Seelis wieder in der Kiste. Nö. So, stopp. Doch, ich brauche hier Seelis. Das ist in die Richtung. Was ist aber in der Richtung? Ah, guck mal. Bam. Hier ist das Seeli. Dann haben wir das erste. Da drüben sehe ich das zweite. Stritte wird dann irgend vielleicht da oben sein, ha? Weiß ich nicht. Woraus kannst du denn alles Feuerwerk machen, Jolmia? Perfekt, ihr seid steht schön perfekt ineinander. Ja, und er hat wieder sein scheiß Schild. Ich hab mal gedacht, komm, ziehst das Schwert, bevor er sein Schild macht. Hat nicht geklappt. Ich habe doch extra Y gedrückt, weil ich noch den Schatten gesehen habe. Warum war der Schatten dann trotzdem noch da? Okay, keine Ahnung. So, hier, Seli, hey. Dann müssen wir das dritte nur noch suchen. Dann können wir die letzte Herausforderung hier unten dann auch gleich noch machen. Haben wir hier eigentlich so Prozentanzahl auch so? Straßenopferritual der 3 Welten. Nö. Schade. Schade. Ach, das war's schon? 2 Selis, ne? Ist ja fast schon langweilig. Ach, ihr?
Take flight. Illusion shut. Goldfish down. Covenant of the deep.
War jetzt nichts Dramatisches.
Provisions are vital.
Obwohl wir hier noch nicht Ding haben. War das nicht dramatisch. Okay. So, Raiden hat ihren Kreis voll. Den hätte ich eigentlich auch feuern können. Aber hey. Müssen ja nicht immer Raiden ihr Schwert rausziehen. Nee? Oh oh. Ja, nee, hat geklappt. Weiter rauf. Schupp. So. Na, guck mal.
Let me try.
Allow me. Sakura swirl.
Okay, Raiden zieht ein Schwert. Hat irgendwie weitaus nicht so viel Schaden gemacht, wie ich es erhofft habe. Nicht aufladen. Danke.
Provisions are vital.
Haben wir jetzt hier dann noch irgendwas? Nur das hier, ha? Okay, jetzt ist da drüben nochmal Erz auf da. Nochmal. Irgendwo hier, da. Aber ich würde sagen, da sind wir hier auch durch. Auf der... Jetzt ist da hinten nochmal Erz. Okay, ist mir egal. Wir stufen jetzt halt hier hoch, dann haben wir noch 2 Kisten und einen Teleportationspunkt. Und halt die Quest. Würde ich mal sagen. Dann sind wir durch. Mit dem... Und du hast 40 Tage Zeit dafür, will ich nur mal so anmerken. Wir sind hier am Maximum. Stufe 15 erreicht, haben damit die Krone bekommen. Und sind damit durch. Alter, was ist denn los hier? So, in die Richtung war jetzt auch noch was. Hey, ihr. Ich habe ja eigentlich auf ein neues Gebiet gehofft, Dendro, aber irgendwie, es heißt zwar, man sieht es schon und alles, aber wann kommt es? Ich habe den Livestream leider verpasst. Wann kommt das Gebiet? Nee, erstmal dich hier. Flupp.
There is no escape.
Okay, und das restliche ist erreichbar über das Portal. Da müssen wir hier hin. Weil wir hier runter müssen. Können uns gerne noch mal kurz hier umschauen. Aber hier schaut auch nicht aus, als ob noch irgendwas ist. Entschuldigung. So, mal kurz mittig in die Blubberblase rein. Flop, 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 flop. Das ist nicht mittig. Ja, doch. So. Dann gehen wir darauf in das Portal, aktivieren den letzten Teleportationspunkt da hinten, machen den letzten Turm und sind durch, oder? Rein theoretisch. sind wir durch. Ich sehe jetzt hier auch, wenn wir gerade mal so schön rauffliegen, gar nichts anderes gerade. Okay. Dann gibt es jetzt gleich nochmal einen Erfolg. Bam. Also nicht ein Erfolg, sondern eine Belohnung. Bam. Fehlt nur noch der letzte Turm. Dann sind wir durch. Denke ich. Oder sind wir dann durch? Wirkt mir so mega schnell dafür, dass du so viel Zeit hast. Ja, okay, manche machen so Zeug auch ungern.
Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
Ich glaube, ich brauche kein Erz mehr oder sonst irgendwas, deswegen lassen wir es mal. Gut, jetzt ist hier nur ein Robo, den hauen wir auch mal um. Du. Oh, guck mal, der hält ein bisschen mehr aus. Du. Okay. Dann haben wir dann noch eine Kiste. Ich glaube, ich muss warten, dass das Ding herkommt, sonst schaffen wir das nicht. Glaube ich. Fährt es wieder hoch? Ja, es fährt wieder hoch. Dann haben wir die zwei da hinten. Ich bin mal raus. Wünsche dir viel Spaß. Vielleicht bis später. Jo. Bis da. Bis vielleicht dann. Und verkackt. Ich war zu früh. Ich war zu eilig. Mal ernsthaft, schaffen wir es vielleicht nicht einfach hier rüber zu gleiten? Probieren wir es mal. Ja. Guck mal, hätte ich gar nicht warten müssen. Hi. Ja, kriegen wir hin.
Illusion shattered. Take flight. Covenant of the deep.
Du.
My apologies.
Fall mal kurz du um.
Whirling snow.
Du. Na komm, jetzt sterb doch endlich.
Sakura swirl.
Kurz dodgen mit Q.
Today is a lucky day.
Der finale Turm. Okay. Bam, Kern. Zack. Zack. Wo ist unsere Steintafel, die uns die Richtung, die richtige Dings ansagt? Nee, ernsthaft, wo ist unsere Steintafel?
I shall treasure this good fortune.
Den Dunkelturm in der Schattenwelt richtig zusammen. Ja. Würde ich gerne machen. Wo ist unsere Steintafel? Oh oh. Ah, hier.
Should be the same clue, right? But the shape looks a little strange this time.
Ja, falsch rum.
Maybe if Paimon looks at it while flying upside down. Come on, upside down too.
Ja, du bist gut. Der Kringel, der unten aufgeht. Und jetzt hier der Kringel, der oben aufgeht. Muss genau andersrum denken. Bam. Fertig. So, dann aktivieren wir den Meißel. Und dann glaube ich, sind wir durch, oder? Dann sind wir schon mit dem Event hier durch. Könnte sein. Also könnte sein, ich weiß es nicht. Ich mache es ja auch gerade zum ersten Mal, das Event. Das werden wir dann sehen. Nein. Jetzt kletter ich mal so, weil sonst wird es ein knapp mit der Ausdauer. Ah ja, Kai, ich will ja eigentlich nicht die ganze Zeit unterm Rock gucken, aber ich muss ja hinschauen, wo ich hinkletter, weißt du? Ich mache das nicht absichtlich.
Yep. Seems like there's no easy fix to get rid of the darkness. The surrounding area has changed again. But it'll be no big deal for us. Right? Should we go straight back and see Sumi or sort out the changes around here first?
Ja, was ist passiert? Hier. Die zwei sind dazugekommen. Die, was wir nicht mehr brauchen. Wir haben ja alles. Wir haben es ja schon. Das weiß ich nicht. Das war damit auch das letzte. Jetzt haben wir da auch alles. Fertig. 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 Wir sind fertig. Das Gebiet ist fertig. Wir haben keine Kisten mehr, gar nichts mehr.
I can tell. It looks like all 3 towers have been successfully taken care of. The evacuation is now going much more quickly, thanks to the improved environmental conditions. Most of the soldiers have gotten out, but it seems like something happened that I hadn't foreseen. Please, come with me.
Oh, wir sind doch nicht fertig. Ich bin faul. Ich gehe doch keine 2 Treppen rauf. Ja, ich muss trotzdem Treppen rauflaufen. Oh, da werden wir bestimmt runter müssen und die 2 Kollegen wegklatschen, ha? Oh, könnte ich mir vorstellen.
Logically speaking, all of Enkanomiya should be back to normal by now. Unfortunately, this place has now become the most dangerous of all. I don't know why this is happening or what to do about it. But what I can tell you is the location of the guy behind all of this. I'm going to have to ask you to confront him and make him reveal his whole plan.
How did this happen?
I've been observing the flow of the darkness and I've noticed something peculiar. There was a faint vortex continuously absorbing the darkness. I can only assume that the flow must be triggered by his need for abyssal energy. He's extremely dangerous. Even most bishops would be no match for him.
Keine Sorge, ich wollte ihn eh verprügeln.
Music to my ears. Thank you. If I have deduced correctly, he should be in the library area right now.
Library Area? Was ist hier drüben? Finde den Abgrundmagier. Mach ich mal schnell leer. Hier. Ah. Ich habe ja lauter angefangen, das Trinken da rumstehen. So, das ist leer. Gut, wie oft soll ich Leertaste drücken? So, pass auf. Lass mich raten, wir müssen den Feuermarker dann verprügeln.
Oh, hey. I would say this is a nice surprise, but it's really not that surprising. Look at you, venturing out into the darkness, doggedly fighting your way through just to come and see me. You're the only person I can think of who could actually pull that off. Still, what's with you joining forces with them? Didn't expect that.
You're just trying to stall for time with small talk again.
Huh. I guess maybe you're not so clued up after all. Look, I understand that seeing me has gotten you a little agitated, but frankly, the fact that you're still so fired up and raring to go after the long journey here is a bit of a problem for me. So, let's burn off that excess energy with a little exercise, huh? Just to calm you down enough to hear me out. From the
There is no escape.
Hold the line.
Müssen wir den schon wieder verprügeln? Den haben wir doch erst verprügelt. Ui, was macht der?
Illusion shattered.
Allow me.
Achso, guck mal. Kokomi, dein Einsatz.
Bring refuge. Let's move up.
Stop! Oh, my life is flashing before my eyes.
Ja, das wollte ich.
That woman with the slender pupils, what does she call herself?
Huh? How do you know about her?
Her name, what is it?
Huh. She calls herself Sumi.
That reptilian seems to be doing a pretty good job of human imitation. Makes sense, doesn't it? The Baptismal Bishops are a highly intelligent and fast-evolving kind. There have been legends about this for over 1,000 years now. The Bishop people.
Bishop people? Huh. Sounds like the kind of nickname Paimon comes up with all the time.
Well, this one comes from an old Enkanomian legend. When the Baptismal Bishops were defeated, they began evolving to survive. That is to say, they imitated the victors. Eventually, this gave rise to a line of bishops who were indistinguishable from humans except for their pupils. These were the Bishop people. The story goes that they gradually infiltrated Enkanomiya and took over many high-ranking positions. Remind you of anyone?
We did hear that Sumi's pupils are vertical.
Yep. In good lighting, you can see that Reptile's pupils are thin, vertical lines. That's hard evidence that she's betrayed you right there.
Oh nein, die innere Hohlerde.
She's been helping us.
Muss jetzt sein.
She is just using you to get revenge on me. I mean, I betrayed them first. I formed an alliance with the bishops. I said I'd plunge all of Enkanomiya into darkness so they could send their elites into the Dainichi Mikoshi and rescue their captive kin. In return, they'd allow the Abyss Order safe passage through their territory and help me rebuild the Three Towers.
Mhm. Am Auge.
They didn't know that the darkness of the Abyss was a terrible poison to elemental beings.
So, they thought you had betrayed them?
I mean, I totally did betray them. To be fair, it'd be pretty humiliating for the Abyss Order if we unleashed the power of the Abyss on them and they were just frolicking around with no side effects.
You are pure evil!
Well, here's where we are now. Once she's done with you, she'll use the power of the Dainichi Mikoshi to suppress the Sangha Coralia and create darkness to protect the bishops. They are probably diving down into the depths to rescue their imprisoned companions as we speak. It won't be long before the source of Blood Branch Coral is completely cut off.
Poor Bathismal bishops. But still.
If you still want to save Watatsumi Island, you're gonna have to hurry.
Ich finde ihn lustig.
The mechanism I left behind to guide the light and dispel the darkness in the Dainichi Mikoshi.
We don't believe a single word that comes out of your mouth.
Oh, come on, guys. Do you honestly have another choice? This is just another fruitless trip to Enkanomiya for me at this point. But no biggie. I'm just a marginal figure in the order. Unlike those who are falling over themselves to serve our highness, I'm interested in more inconsequential things. Ooh, yikes. I think I'm all out of time here. I'd better go. I would say, see ya, but I probably won't. Here, I've got a parting gift for you. It's something I picked up at the Dainichi Mikoshi.
This looks like part of the same set as the one that Kokumi gave us. Wait, now's not the time for that. Oh, Paimon's so angry, he got away again. I can't trust that guy, even if he sounds like he's making sense.
Ja,
Go back to Tsumi.
ich mag den.
Hear about all this.
Ich mag den aber. So, finde Tsumi. Tsumi. Du natürlich hier. So, Korrosionsschutz 120. Das ist sogar mehr, als wir brauchen eigentlich sogar, denke ich. Außer es wird noch irgendwo was geben. Tsumi, ich mag dich nicht. Du hast mich verarscht, glaube ich.
Oh no, Tsumi's gone. We couldn't have missed her on the way here. Oh, come on, it's okay. Don't be sad. On the bright side, most of the soldiers have been successfully evacuated. If any bishops did come through here just now, at least no one will have gotten hurt. Even though, just thinking about that guy drives Paimon nuts. It seems we've got no choice but to give what he said a shot.
Leitet den Lichtweg hierher.
Let's get some light in here.
Ah, da muss ich Lichtstrahl lenken, okay. Also von da kommen wir überall easy hin. Okay. Machen wir mal. Weil es ist ja alles geklärt. Das heißt, wir können da relativ easy einfach hinlaufen. Hä?
This must be the mechanism he mentioned. But how do we reach it?
Hier durch? Okay. Ich habe echt gedacht, wir sind schon durch, aber sind wir noch gar nicht. Da geht noch ein bisschen Story weiter. Du hast wirklich viel Zeit für das alles hier zum Durchlaufen. Bringt uns die Schatulle jetzt noch irgendwas? Und was kann ich jetzt da machen?
So this is the thrill of adventure.
Hä? War die falsche Treppe, oder? Geht hier sonst eine Treppe irgendwo hin? Nee. Nur hier rauf. Ja, aber wie komme ich denn von hier weiter? Gar nicht, oder wie? Hä? Und hier geht nur die eine Treppe hier rüber, gell? Ich muss darauf. Ja, aber... Hä? Oh nein. Okay, das war verkackt. Das war nicht gut. Ich gehe mal in den hier rein. Wo schießen wir? Dahin? Hier schießen wir darauf. Okay, das ist falsch. Aber hä? Die Treppe geht ja nur dahin. Wie komme ich denn da rüber dann? Hier ist aber sonst nichts. Hier bewegt sich noch was hin und her. Ja. Ah, guck mal. Warum? Ah, jetzt ist die Treppe hier hin. Ach, damit drehe ich die wohl? Nein. Nein! Ach, shit. Und wieder von unten. Ah! Und nochmal von vorne. Nee, okay. Next. Okay, damit kann man die Treppe drehen anscheinend. Wenn ich es drauf aktiviere.
Let's move out.
So, jetzt kann ich hier ganz normal rauflaufen zu der Kiste.
So this is the thrill of adventure.
Jetzt, wenn ich in die Richtung gucke. Ah, guck mal. Du musst in Blickrichtung. Dann drehst du es. Hier gehe ich jetzt einfach hier rein. Das sollte mich darüber schießen.
How does it work? Since it has something to do with light, maybe the Bokuso box should be able to activate it.
Ich glaube, wir haben es aktiviert. Denke ich. Okay. Jetzt hier drüben. Ich denke, wir haben es aktiviert. Ich hoffe es jetzt einfach mal drauf. Ich will nicht nochmal hin. Ah, guck mal, hier ist eine Luftdingsi. Guten Aufwind geben. Da stehe ich.
Mechanism, right?
Mhm. So, dann brauchen wir aber mal die gute Saccharose jetzt gerade. Stell dir mal vor, du hast keine Luftcharaktere oder sowas, was wir ja schon mal hatten. Da bin ich ja ewig mit dem, So.
Trust and rebuild.
Saccharose hat ein bisschen Autschi. Hui. So, wo will ich hin? Eigentlich können wir mal ruhig erstmal darauf laufen. Da ist eine Kiste.
Wow, so many raw materials.
So. Dann drehen wir in die Richtung. Laufen hier rauf. Schießen uns hier durch. Ja gut, laufen wir erstmal hier rüber, weil hier ist wieder eine Kiste.
Wow, so many raw materials.
Ach, Sache Rose. Drehen in die Richtung, gehen hier rauf. Aktivieren hier. Bam. Jetzt müssen wir hier rüber noch einmal. Und dann denke ich, haben wir das.
Oh, that's where the mechanism is.
Das schaut mir aus wie einfach nur über Plattformen laufen gerade. Ah, guck mal, da kommt die nächste. Zack. So. Oh, okay, dann gehen wir erstmal in die Richtung. Zu der Kiste. Ich habe immer Angst bei solchen Treppen.
Wow, so many raw materials.
Welche die aufploppen, dass ich zu schnell bin. So. Jetzt gehen wir da rauf. Zack. Oh, okay, dann holen wir uns erstmal wieder die Kiste. Guck mal, die hätte ich jetzt gerade gar nicht gesehen. Und wieder runter.
I stumbled upon lab supplies as often.
Zack. Du musst gar nicht in die Richtung gucken. So, rein mit uns. Bam. Jetzt fliegen wir da rauf automatisch. Zack. So, jetzt haben wir das letzte hier.
I'm shocked. It actually worked. For once he didn't lie to us.
Technisch gesehen hat er uns nicht viel vorgemacht.
Maybe with his sneaky way of explaining things, he doesn't have to. Why does Paimon feel like you two have reached some sort of mutual understanding? The Dainichi Mikoshi should be accessible again now. Let's get down there and see.
Sollten wir hinbekommen. Jetzt sollen wir da bestimmt da runter hüpfen, oder? Ich weiß nicht, wie das die Kämmerchen da, die Kammer da unten heißt, weil ich wie immer nicht aufgepasst habe. So, Sache Rose, du bist meine kleine Kio-Füllerin, du kommst mit. Ich brauche nicht unbedingt zwangsläufig. Also die dritte Position ist immer bei mir austauschbar. Alle anderen drei sind und bleiben meine Mains. Also Ayaka, Raiden, Kokomi. So.
Oh, looks like we need to ride this thing down.
Also wie damals. Runter mit uns, während mein Fuß eingeschlafen ist. Wieso höher? Und geh in den unterirdischen Raum. Ja, aber der sagt mir höher. Warum sagt er mir jetzt höher? Aufzug fahren.
Baptismal vision! And dangerous ones by the looks of it. Guess they're the elites, huh? Still no sign of Yuzuni, though.
There is no escape.
Enhanced animal module 7. Embrace the ice!
Take flight.
Die Mauern? Welche Mauern? Oh. Ach so, guck mal, wusste ich gar nicht.
Yeah. 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 Ha. Hold the line. Ha. Yeah. Ha.
Take flight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Illusion shattered.
Billowing surge.
So, heil mal kurz mal alle ein bisschen hoch.
My apologies. Inazuma shines eternal.
After a careful head count, it seems like the baby bishops aren't here anymore. Guess they got rescued. If the baptismal bishops really did come down here, that means that guy was telling the truth. So, Sumi really is a bishop person? But we still haven't seen her anywhere. Where the heck is she? Whatever. Let's head back up.
Du kehrst mit Pyro nach dem Blub zurück. Okay.
It's Sumi! What is she doing in front of the Dainichi Mikoshi?
Since you came back, I'm curious to know. Did our rescue operation succeed?
Some baby bishops were rescued before we got there, but the old and weak bishops went back in the water to hide after we defeated the elites. Sumi, are you really a bishop person?
I have no intention of explaining anything. Although I can communicate with you, I know all too well that interaction with humans can only end in betrayal. The conflict between our two kinds will go on forever. Before I leave, I'm going to destroy this light. Do not come any closer, and don't even think about trying to sneak up on me. This tower seems to hear my wishes. I just need to think the thought and it will change its brightness. And if I so desire, it will collapse before me. With the cognitive equivalent of a click of the fingers, I could destroy this source of great pain for the bishops. So why can't I do it?
Oh no. This is way more serious than losing access to the Blood Branch Coral. What are we gonna do?
Bitte nimm das.
It's...
Sumi dachte an ihren Anhänger, fügte die Fragmente zusammen.
It's a pendant in the shape of... Are those 3 entwined snakes?
This pendant has been with me for as long as I can remember. Why does it fit with your 2 pieces?
Du solltest jetzt deine eigene Antwort im Kopf
Don't be
haben.
ridiculous. Are you trying to say that I...
Paimon doesn't understand. This one is Kokomi's, this one is from the Dainichi Mikoshi, and Sumi's has been with her all along.
Du gehörst zu Watasumi.
I grew up with the bishops. My only possessions were this pendant and a few boxes of books. I learned human language and writing from them. But not long after that, Enkonomiya was left without a single human being. It became completely empty. Only recently did I finally have the chance to make contact with humans and learn what the things I'd read in the books really meant.
Sumi?
There's a saying in your human books that I never understood until right now. People belong where they are born, but creatures belong where they are fed. I am a bishop, not a human. So I'm going back to where I belong. I guess the Dainichi Mikoshi isn't my concern. But we'll be back one day.
Sumi is gone. Why did she suddenly change her mind in the end?
Kokomi wird es vielleicht verstehen.
Kokomi will have definitely anticipated this possibility. That would be why she gave us the pendant fragment in the first place. Everything's resolved here. Let's go back and tell her.
Ich glaube, jetzt sind wir durch. Wirklich durch. Verlasse Enkomi und spreche mit Kokomi. Inazuma! Kokomi! Kokomi, meine Gute. Wo bist du? So. Da, 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 da. Na komm. Lade das Knopf oben. Lade.
Hey, Kokomi! You're back. The soldiers briefed me about what happened. You successfully worked with a shrine maiden named Tsumi to clear the darkness. But then there was an unexpected change at the Dainichi Mikoshi. Is that so?
Ja.
Yeah, that's right. But after that is where things started to get all kinds of weird.
Du erzählst Kokomi, was danach geschah.
Really? Sorry, Kokomi. Paimon feels kind of bad that we ended up giving your pendant away. There's no need to apologize. As I said, Watatsumi Island has no further need for it. It's a relic from back in the very beginning when the Watatsumi Omikami reorganized the court and reformed Enkanomiya. The 3 pendants were given to the Dainichi Mikoshi, the Sangonomiya line, and the vassals of Watatsumi. The original intention was that the common folk, the officials, and the divine vassals would all hold each other accountable. But today, only the common folk have flourished while the other 2 bloodlines have declined. So the pendant is of little use anymore. Funny you should say vassals. One of the soldiers seemed to think that Tsumi was one of those. But actually, her vertical pupils meant that she was a reptile. She fooled us all. That's not true. Vassals of Watatsumi typically take on a half-human, half-snake form, symbolizing that they are the familiars of our serpent god. At least, they used to. Over time, the vassals gradually became identical to humans, all except for the pupils of their eyes. But Bishop people and reptilians, they're pure fiction. There is no evidence for their existence anywhere among Sangonomiya's classified documents. Oh, so Tsumi isn't actually a bishop? The Watatsumi Omikami exhausted its power to create Watatsumi Island, and after that, it grew weaker and weaker. No more vassals of Watatsumi were born after that. But the records do mention the very last of the vassals. All our hopes were placed onto her. She was going to be the one who could communicate between the bishops and the humans. But when she was just an infant girl, she and her guardian shrine maiden were attacked by bishops at the border of Enkanomiya. Her whereabouts have been unknown ever since. Most believe she died that day, but some believe she was raised by the bishops. The people of Watatsumi owe a great debt of gratitude to the vassals of Watatsumi. Now that the bishops and Watatsumi Islanders no longer have a territorial dispute, I sincerely hope that she will find her way to where she belongs. Wherever that is for her. What a story. Still, now that we know how Blood Branch Coral works, I, as Divine Priestess of Sangonomiya, may need to think of a new way to counteract the Holy Soil phenomenon. For the time being, however, the issue is resolved, and all thanks to you. Watatsumi Island will be at peace for many decades to come. I can't thank you enough.
Ich glaube, wir sind fertig. Donnergrollen im Schneesturm. Ah, guck mal. Das ist hier unten, die dann besiegen. Also alles 3 davon. Schwierigkeit oder höher ab. Zur Herausforderung, wo ist die? Hier unten. Okay. Das ist das, was uns dann noch fehlt, ha? Weil ich die nicht brauche. Und das ist in 8 Tagen wieder verfügbar. 16 Tage ist das Banner. Schauen wir mal, wie viel wir zum Schluss noch hinbekommen, weil ich habe rein theoretisch ein relativ gutes Pity. Ja, lass uns noch mal alles verwursteln, was wir so ein bisschen haben. Hauptsächlich halt das, weil es halt 1,5 Grad bringt. Auch wenn wir sonst keine Verwendung dafür haben. Hier können wir auch nochmal die Artefakte ein bisschen verwurschteln. Ein bisschen Zeug haben wir ja noch gefunden. Was ja ganz gut ist. So. Machen wir auch einfach direkt weiter. Und dann überlege ich mir, dann wollen wir vielleicht die Raiden-Story noch ein bisschen machen. Wir haben ja noch ein bisschen Zeit. Ein bisschen Zeit haben wir ja noch. Da habe ich auch noch ein paar Bücherchen. Mona? Na komm. Zack. 15? Ja, fast vor 80. Ningguan, die gute Dame. Vielleicht ziehe ich die jetzt auch nur noch auf 80 hoch, weil 90 ist echt ein bisschen teuer, aber rein theoretisch könnte ich sie auch auf 80 hochziehen. So, eigentlich. Wir gehen mal zur Abenteuergilde. Da sind unsere Erkundungen fertig. Machen wir schnell das. Wir haben auch ein bisschen Harz. Also 97, aber noch nicht voll. Ich glaube, wir machen später weiter mit Genshin. Erstmal und dann überlegen wir uns mal weiter. Wollten wir danach vielleicht machen. Oh, das ist die Story. Okay.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that
The Traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
Indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help? Well, let
Dafür sind
me
wir
go
ja da.
over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred Sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Hounds? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred Sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already? Good.
Ein wenig.
Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Machen
Is
wir.
the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred Sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation.
Zeit, ein paar Welpen zum Heulen zu
You have
bringen.
our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
Kriegen wir hin.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Okay, flüchtige Träume. Akt 2. Was ist denn das jetzt? Das war jetzt eigentlich nicht gewollt, dass wir den starten. Gut, hier. Den können wir eh noch nicht machen, weil wir erst den da abschließen müssen. Okay, wir schließen den mit Raiden ab. Zuvor, hier oben. Der, glaube ich, ist das Sinnvollste, wenn wir zum Kamisato anwesend hüpfen. Gut. Machen wir. Kein Thema. Ich lasse mal Sache Rose als meine Q-Auffüllerin dabei. Das Sache Rose übernimm du. Geh dahin, wo die Monster aufgetaucht sind. Ach, guck mal.
Sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Animal hypostasis and you.
Allow me!
Noch mehr Gegner im Anmarsch. Wo? Hier. Ich hab sie nicht gesehen.
Absorption test. Animal test
Wow, there are so many of them! No wonder the Tenryou Commission needed help! Come on, travelers, you can take them!
Torn to oblivion!
Warum sind wir immer so schwach?
Wait, no! Could also be A!
Oh, it's you two.
Hi.
It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
Was bringt dich dieses Mal
I'm
heraus?
making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission. But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura... It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
Na dann, ab geht's!
My mom feels so safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it?
Ja, ich weiß.
After we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria.
Also, ich weiß.
It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
Ja, da bin ich. Da vorne. Ich habe Ei auch gerne im Team. Hi. Ja, ich folge den Achso, ich muss schon wieder weiter. Überhaupt nicht auffällig oder so. So. Da bin ich doch schon gewesen. Geht es weiter? Weil hier laufe ich ja schon wieder aus dem Eck raus. Ah, ne, geht weiter. Da.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
This
Nice.
stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing?
Oops.
What's this? Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey.
Hm.
Why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
Die Menschen von damals.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you, there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
Was ist passiert?
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They are merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left. The almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's the Shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you mean? Shogun?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Huh. I think I understand. Almighty Shogun, you saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
What's wrong with him?
Verschwindet er?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory. Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
Das gleiche ist mit der kleinen Ming passiert.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
Er erwähnte, dass Shogun abwesend war.
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last time.
Oh, voll
I would
traurig.
like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself and in my heart.
Voll traurig. Oh. Das ist der Verlust, den Yamiko erwähnt hat.
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive. But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Du steckst also nicht mehr in der Vergangenheit fest.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for.
Auf jeden Fall.
As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Mhm.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
Aber voll die traurige Geschichte.
Shine down!
Es ist halt der Kreis weg, aber egal. Voll die traurige Geschichte. Du hast mich angenießt, Mädz. So, wir werden davor müssen, schätze ich. Den Weg entlang.
Expected there are a load of rift hounds here too.
Wo?
Leave them to me.
Okay.
To oblivion! Shine
Mädz, hör auf mich anzunießen. Noch mehr. Hier. Du. Ei. Irgendwie kriegst du keinen Kreis gerade zusammen. Ah doch, hast du. Hui.
Something seems wrong with A.
Geht es dir gut?
Why would you ask that?
Warum fragst du das? Nur so.
Usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go! No?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Makes sense! Spoken like a seasoned shogun. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Sehr viel Story.
Furuyama? Is that you?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
Hey Julie.
What should we do?
Tun wir einfach, was sagt.
Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already.
Story.
Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me.
Was machst du ein bisschen?
I decided to stay. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away.
Ja, es sind 2 neue Legendenaufträge
This
reingekommen.
was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
Also wieder neues Event, wo man, das war jetzt relativ groß, da waren wir jetzt 5 Stunden drüber. Gerade aufgestanden. Das sind jetzt 2 neue Legendenaufträge, also Teil 2 mit Raiden. Mietz ist auch da. Danach gibt es mit ihrer besten Freundin Yaemiko weiter. Aber ich werde um halb verschwinden, also halbe Stündchen mache ich noch. Dann muss ich los.
People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets. The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories, I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
Ich bin schon ein bisschen länger wach. Bin heute irgendwie auf 6 wach gewesen und auf 7 bin ich noch aufgestanden. Das hört sich gar nicht nach Ei
So
an.
you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. Ah, what a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew.
Ich glaube, er weiß, er ist tot.
But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never mind, eh? Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself.
Wir wissen, wo das zu finden ist.
Possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But... well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find a tea set?
Kamisato anwesend anscheinend. Aber wo... Dann war da unten ein Teehaus? Gibt's auch Ruinen?
Having a cup of tea isn't exactly...
Ich war zu schnell.
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Ei, wir müssen mal nach Mondstadt oder Lio. Da hat nicht jeder die Hosen voll vor dir. Da kennt dich nicht jeder. Tatsächlich Tee gemacht?
I wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
Damit ist doch das Begehren gemeint,
They
oder?
are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me. Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
That's, quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with.
Das entspricht eher die Sichtweise der Menschen auf die Welt.
Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity. But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Dann ab damit. Ab dafür. So, ich nehme den Teleportationspunkt, da geht's am schnellsten hin. Hoffe ich, glaube ich, denke ich. Wünsche ich. Bin noch immer lauffaul. Da. Wobei Gleiten auch nichts anderes ist. Ja, wobei ist ein bisschen entspannter. So. Werden bestimmt gleich in die Story gezogen. Jo. Er ist weg. War klar.
Hey, where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Ich würde es zu ihm trauen.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long. As was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea?
Noch Paimon.
We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
Oh, Paimon.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
Kopf hoch, Paimon.
This chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself. The tea is ready. Please give it a try.
Ich habe die
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Das brauchst du nicht. Ich verstehe das.
You're right. but the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may.
Natürlich.
The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me, for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden.
Makoto hatte also
any
bereits...
Yes. It was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura.
Erschienen?
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Einfach ausgedrückt, Makotos Kraft hat den Baum irgendwie zum Vorschein gebracht.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Scheint, als hättest du schon... Auch ich kenne den Schmerz der Trennung.
While we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Hast du oder meine Schwester schon mal gesehen?
Sister? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
Okay, die Story geht länger, als ich erwartet habe.
Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Wo sind denn die Spuren? Ich habe jetzt gedacht in die Richtung, aber ich sehe keine anderen. Hä? Folge den Spuren weiter. Ja. Sie exakt Richtung Norden. Ah, guck mal. Hier sind Spuren. Hier sind Spuren. Ah, das ist aber nicht Norden. Hui! Kamera! Darunter? Schaut so aus. Hier rüber. Da sind Spuren. Ich hätte jetzt gerade gedacht, vielleicht das Steintor da. Weil das hätte Sinn gemacht. Na, schau mal, hier unten, das kennen wir.
Once again, please leave them to me.
Nein, ei.
Hey, are you sure you're all right? You're scaring us.
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
Oh, das klingt nicht gut.
Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion.
Du, 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 du.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Ja, sie hat ein bisschen Leben verloren.
Illusion shattered.
Aber wir sind noch nicht in Full Life rein.
Shine down.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
Übertreibe es nicht.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back. We'll deal with the monster. Look, that's the same light again.
Die Zeit für eine...
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
Mhm.
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
So voller Hoffnung.
Nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Wir brauchen keine Vision.
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Also, der Reisende braucht keine Vision. Ich habe gehört, wir machen den hier. Kokomi, dein Einsatz. Kleiner Fisch, weil unserer Raiden geht's auch nicht so gut, weil das war ja die Raiden. Wunderbar, alle auf einen Fleck. Bam.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Wir haben kein Recht, die Realität zu zerstören, die sie erlebt haben.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best.
Naja.
The Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the Almighty Shogun.
Dass die drei tot sind, heißt halt...
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
Da waren sie weg.
They're gone.
Aber das ein Versprechen an sie?
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done.
Die Menschen sind deines Vertrauens würdig.
Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past. No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on.
Okay.
It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up!
Oi!
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... I can't move it. It looks like the situation
Musst du eine Pause machen?
serious. No need. She is calling me. The time has come. Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.
Ich will ja nichts sagen, aber ich muss tatsächlich jetzt Schluss machen, weil eigentlich müsste ich schon losgefahren sein. Wir machen an der Stelle hier Schluss. Wir machen später weiter. Ich fahre jetzt zu meinen Eltern, es ist ja Sonntag. Erstmal den Sonntagsbraten, wisst ihr? Sonntagsessen bei meinen Eltern.